Hey guys, it's Terry from Grover Boys Racing. Thank you for checking me out again, guys. Well, fellas, I'm going to do the same thing that I did before, and I'm going to tell you guys a little story, so I hope you have a minute. My son, he needed some parts to go a little faster, so what I did back in the day, I gave up my parts so he could have fun. And I thought he'd get more enjoyment out of them than I ever would. I'm getting older. And you know what? I've enjoyed watching him race the car more than I would myself. And I never thought I'd ever see that. Because I always liked being the guy in the car. But, fellas, we're right back to where I started with my son Adam. Because as of now, I have a friend that's like a son to me. I watched this kid grow up, and evidently he has some guys that have him outgunned so bad. Big blocks, LS, 6.0s, 6.2s, and they want to run his little 302 stalker. And he's doing okay with it, and he's having fun. He don't even care. He just called me, asked me what he could do with advanced and stuff. And he don't even know yet. He's always one of the first guys to watch my videos. And so this is going to be kind of a surprise to him. And when he sees these rusty old heads, he might say, that's okay. But I'm going to tell you guys, I started these for myself a long time ago. And they're a little bit weathered. Don't let the rust fool you. They're going on a rust stang anyway, but these are my considerably P-heads that I did, and I started on them. I had a certain game plan involved when I was doing them, and that was to raise the port. Let's make a high port. Fill the port in, and I think that's what's still going to happen to them. And of course they're going to be milled. And what's going to happen with these heads now is that they're going to be going on in the car pretty soon, if I have anything to say about it. And there's going to be some upset people. So when I'm finished with these, bigger is not better. These are bigger and better when you do them upright, because they're so restricted. Even the P-heads, you gotta do stuff to them. I'm an extremist with stuff. I hate to show people what I do because they're like, he got too carried away with them. He did this, he did that. But I'm gonna tell you something. There's going to be some surprised people out there when he bolts these things on. But anyway, guys, I don't hide no secrets. As soon as I get the all the cobwebs out of them, I'm going to start on them and finish them up for him. And I'll just show you guys what I was doing to them. I don't know if you could see or not. But the top of the exhaust runner, I don't know if you can tell, fellas, this is what I was telling you. This is how I do them. I go off the seat. I've told you this in other videos, but in case somebody hasn't seen them, and I angle the roof where it's straight up. I will cut this back here and contour this in, and this will be getting cut back more, even so here. But as long as it's not restricted too bad, I'm worried about the air being straight. I'm not worried about it being big. So I hope I'm explaining this right, because I did say bigger is better. That's only because the 302 stuff is so small. E7 stuff is like insanely small. You're talking a 120, 140 runner, depending what kind of factory did them at the time. And they're a very inconsistent head. But by the time we're finished with these, I'm going to try to see about putting upgraded valves in them. And another thing I wanted to point out, guys, compared to this one here, which I haven't really gotten to as much. Like I said, I was on my way with these things, guys, and they've been sitting probably for 5 years, 6 years. And they haven't made them on anything yet. This is what I would do, fellas. These sharp edges here has to go. All this detonation stuff. I've already done this because anybody knows these heads, they stick way out. They're a bad head for detonation. And then you can see over here on this head where I'd already done it better. This is pretty smooth out. And I do have to cut back in here. I lowered this, but what I really want to do, I want to put a lip back on this here a little bit to guide the exhaust. So I'm going to have to angle this back because I do want to bring this into the seat more. That's why I always try to do around everything into the seat. And that's where I was on these guys. I know they're kind of scary looking, but I think there's going to be a kid with a smile on his face when he gets them on the car. If we get them milled, I think we get compression. If I could talk, fellas, get the compression up to around 9.5, maybe 10-to-1. So that'll be a factor right there. So all said and done, I think when I get them finished up, I think they'll be good to go with probably, I would think about 60 to 80 horsepower. Taking a stab at it. Could possibly be more depending what camshaft he winds up with on it. And I do have them thin in spots because they were from me, and I was going to epoxy stuff and weld whatever I had to. So that's the only downfall. I'll have to tell him what needed to be done, see if he wants to go that route. And but I'm willing to give them to him. And whatever you have to spend on them, that would be the only cost, because I'll finish them up for free. And do whatever I have to do to him to make sure this kid has something that gives him a little bit of the seat of the pants action. And I don't know if you guys noticed how much I did to the combustion chamber here too, as far as the sidewall right here. I didn't really go too crazy back in here because they actually lose flow if you cut back too far in here. But in here I gave us a nice sweep. And I did angle this back more. I'm still going to bring it back even more, the combustion chamber, as far as that. Has a little bit of a lip on it, not bad. I've already taken care of most of that. It's just so rusty it's hard to tell what I've done, what I haven't done. And another thing I was going to do to them, I don't know if I want to invest in it or not. I was going to take the heads and have them welded up where they have the exhaust ports. Have that bad spot in them up top, right here. So I was going to have all that filled in and then rework it. So, but that's my plan with these. And we'll just have to see if he's willing to invest with them. Because if he is, he'll have a nice little head on. So I'm going to get some of this rust off so you guys can get an idea. Just what was done to him. I think with the rust stuff you'll be able to see better just exactly how much work was done to these. And one of the other things I wanted to show you guys, I want to point out, I haven't finished with these, but notice how I take it and I sweep everything in here. I try to round all this in, the floor the same way, just round it back. And You know, people don't realize with a good exhaust port, you'll pick up flow on the intake side. I know I'll probably get chewed up about that statement, but it's somewhat true. It's a little technical to explain, but just something I know, something I've seen, and let me see if I can get this a little better, guys. It's surely left uneven, but I was far from done with them, fellas. But anyway, that's what we're going to wind up with once I get them finished. Oh, hang on, guys. These are a little bit heavy. I don't know if they're heavy or I'm just that weak. You can see, fellas, where I had them marked where the work was going to occur. I'm not one of these guys that when just start pouring, I go for all the bad spots. I do all the weaknesses first. A lot of guys, they're worried about making the port a certain way and everything. I worry about all this stuff first. All the restriction areas. The guys are going to get cut back even more when I'm finished with them. And I'll give that a nice round bullet nose here when I'm finished. And you're limited on the P-head because they're hollow up in here. If you do too much up in here in the exhaust roof, you'll go through. So I put my own spin on that too with the way I did that. And I'm trying to get it, guys, so you can see more what I did. Sorry about the noise, fellas. I'm just trying to show you guys what I did here. And don't get too carried away with this because you'll see stuff uneven because, like I said, I was just working on these things and then stopped. But fellas, I hope you can see somewhat what I'm talking about, what I did, how I go straight in. Well, basically, I go straight out. I work my way out, and that's how I do it, guys, on the exhaust. I go from here out. And if you guys could only see, I wish I could get this to show up on camera, how much of a nice roof that really has as far as going out. I mean, you're limited what you can do on these heads, but for the most part, if you see how I got the bowl rounded all in, because they're really crappy. Ford has like the worst bowl. The E7s are the worst. They're actually, I want to take the time to explain this a little bit. They kind of square off. E7 head, they take a lot of work. They're actually kind of flat here, and they square. They go here, and they have a dimple in them. So, I did a thing about the Green Gangster engine that sent my car sleepy, and I forgot to mention that the bowl work was done on that, and it was a lot. I mean, it took a lot to get them how I wanted. So it's not just that I poured them, and I did put a D shape on them E7 heads. I told everybody about that in the other video, but I just want to bring that up because I'm remembering things as I'm doing this. So forgive me, guys, for kind of stuttering here, but things are coming to me that I forgot about. And I do that talking anyway, fellas. You know that. You know me by now. But anyway, guys, I'm excited for this. I want to get these done. And I have to remember everything I did, what I didn't do. So I'll get the rust off and see all my flaws. See where I left off. See what needs to be welded. Because I know I had a runner that was really, really on the edge there. It was on the unsafe side as far as trying to put it on a car the way it is. So, like I said, these were getting blown out pretty good. So, they're far from a standard port job. And they're going to be far from a standard pork job when I'm finished with them, because I'm going to throw everything I have at them and then see what happens. I don't know what kind of flow numbers they'll have, but like I tell you guys, I don't even care about the flow numbers. I care about the work. I care about how the air, more than anything, comes out of that port right here, the exhaust. That's my main thing. I do that with everything. And then I got to figure out what valve angle I want, which I forget. I don't think it needs anything fancy. I just think I have to figure out what I want to do as far as the contour on this still, because I don't remember if I had more I could do on this here. Sorry guys, I'm not holding the camera. This kind of goes back here and then goes out that way. I don't want that, so I try to get this better in here. So that's one of the main things I'll be worried about, the exhaust first, getting the exhaust straightened up. And then whatever else comes our way, the milling, and then cost of stuff is always important. So I'll see if he has the money to get them milled. And I also got to see what size I wound up with on the runner. I don't know what gasket I used on them. It's been so long. But anyway, fellas, I thought I'd show you this. And just let you see what I do a little bit. And then give somebody an idea, and then somebody might look at it and say, I don't want to get that carried away. And you don't have to. If you have a car you just want to make better, you don't have to do all this crazy stuff to it. This is extreme, fellas. This is why I don't really talk about this kind of stuff on my channel too often with my stuff, because I'm trying to let young people learn and trying to keep it on a basic thing. But this just got me wound up, the phone call I just got. So when you care about somebody and somebody gives them a little bit of grief, guys, you know what that's like. And especially in this cruel racing world we have going on, friends are few, and really good friends are even fewer. So, you know, I don't need to tell you guys. I'm sure you've had some and lost some over a race or a car. And it's a shame it has to be like that. But anyway, guys, I thought I'd show you this and maybe give somebody an idea. But fellas, I will tell you this, it's hours and hours and hours. This isn't something that you do in a couple hours. You would not even want to probably spend the time I have on these already. And if I told you, you'd be like, that guy's out of his mind. So I am out of my mind, but that's beside the point. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you for stopping by. I always want to do that. I know I tell you that all the time, but I appreciate it. I want to keep telling you guys that. You'll probably get tired of hearing me saying it. You won't turn me on because you'll say, I'm tired of hearing them say that. Hopefully not, fellas. But anyway, guys, have a good night, and I appreciate you. Take care, guys.